Hey guys, AscendantGod here, and shout out from below. Right, doing Raid Shadow Legends Void Shards today. We have the increased drop rate going on right now for Voids, so an extra double chance for epics, extra double chance for the legendaries here. So gonna bust some open. We also have the buy shards and win event going on, where you buy shards and open them up and you win prizes. So right now it's a legendary tomb is the top one, epic for below that. With faction wars, I can actually use some epic tombs right now. So gonna go ahead and get started on these because I got enough room. I got 66 out of 90, so I got enough room there. I got enough coins. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna bust open all 17 of these. So here we go. First one down. Off the top of my head, the only voids I can think of that I really need, that I could really use off the top of my head, is Cold Heart. But with faction wars, okay, so with faction wars, I'm actually shorthanded on demons. So this guy will probably come in useful because I was using an uncommon. Let me see what kind of abilities he has. Ooh. Wow, yeah, this would actually be really handy on some of these bosses in faction wars, where it decreases the damage received by 50% from a... Yeah, because sometimes, a lot of times actually, I've been getting hit for more than 30% of my hit points. And then decrease if it's critical. Two turns in the attacker if the attack is critical. Well, I guess if it's a crit, that would be nice. I don't know if I'm going to ascend him though. I have to see how good he is, but it's definitely something I could use because, like I said, my demon spawn has been short in the game. That's one of the ones that I was short on, along with Ogren tribes. Alright, and then one enemy decrease attack, damage increase according to this champion's max hit points. That's interesting. But then I don't like where they're hybrids, though, where they're based off of both attack and hit points, because then you're like, well, what direction do I go? 15% weaken. Now I hit points. I like I said, I was having to use an uncommon. He's definitely better than the uncommon I was running with, so I can replace that at least now. So that's good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one here. I'm trying to think, like, the only thing that I really don't need is that, what is it, Sacred Order or whatever. So I have, like, Martyr and some other really powerful champions. So, Stone Skin, Ogren. Okay, good. Like I said, I needed Ogren. That's good. Alright, let me see what this guy does, see if he's any good. I'm pretty sure Ogren was another one where I had to use an uncommon. Actually, almost positive I did. Alright, so, attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed. An AoE decreased speed. I mean, it's only 15%, but I could still use that. A lot of these bosses seem like they have a lot of speed, and that's hurting me where they're getting first attack. Fills a turn meter by 50%. What? Fills his turn meter by 50%, and he gets a... So he basically gets an increased defense and loses a half of turn in order to get it. Because, I mean, it fills his turn meter, but he doesn't get to attack, he doesn't do any damage, he just gets an increased defense, and only on himself. That I wouldn't even use that. That doesn't make any... I don't know, maybe it would. I mean, you do get 60% increased defense, but is he a defense-based... No, he's based on attack. That makes no sense. If he was based on defense, that'd be different, but... One enemy, 50% chance... damage increases. Why is it based on... I don't know. Why am I getting these champions with a mix, the hybrids, attack and hit points? Then what do? Do I put it into attack and make you hit harder? Or do I put it into hit points for this hit? I mean, I like that he has a provoke, but I mean, unless I put a bunch of hit points on him in accuracy, like, I'm not going to use it unless it's accuracy, and then I had to put a bunch of hit points, and then that's going to weaken this attack, oh, that's not even an attack. And then this is just based on attack. I don't understand champions like that. I mean, I would imagine his reviews are probably... Yeah, his reviews are horrible. I don't even know if I'm going to use him. I got to compare him to the uncommon. I think the uncommon that I was using was better than that. See, this is why I don't understand, like, why voids are so much more expensive. They were trying to sell me one of the void packages today, because of course they're, you know, trying to sell them since they're running the special on it. Well, she forgot her clothing. That's okay. I think she's garbage too, though. I've had her before. Okay, well, 4, 5, 2, 3, but these aren't that reliable. Let me see what she's got going on. Alright, what am I missing here? Attacks an enemy champion with default skill whenever they are healed or receive a buff. Attacks one random enemy if multiple or... Okay, well that's kind of cool. She's going to attack. Like, that would be really useful on the bosses, actually. Oh, but I think I have a ton of Dark Elves. I'm going to check really quick here. See... Yeah, I have some really good Dark Elves here. I mean, you can see, like, I got Painkeeper maxed out. She's not amazing, but she's a decent healer. She reduces skill cooldowns. I got Kale. He's pretty decent. Cold Heart, she's really good, especially against bosses. Spider is good. Lori is good. Haikatoon. Oh, no, Haikatoon is that. So, let me see. 3, 4. Man. I don't know. I might use this one. I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna level it up. See, I might use Eviscerator. She's not that great, but I mean, with Faction Wars, you're kind of scrambling for whatever you can get that's even has to. Ooh, epic. Here we go. Epic. Skull Crown. I think Skull Crown's decent. And Night Revenant. I need more Night Revenants. I'm pretty sure. Let me see here. Night Revenants. I don't think I have a whole lot of them. I have 2 more maxed out. He got destroyed along with Deathless last time. So yeah, I got Deathless, I got 2 more, I have a few that are really good, but I only have 6 altogether. I'm not a huge fan of Executioner. Crimson Slayer, I don't know yet, but Bizdebus I know is decent. Deathless isn't that great. She's really only good for like arena defense teams, because she gets more powerful as your champions die. I don't want my champions dying, and if they're dying, then it doesn't increase her attack enough. Like, her attack increases some when the champions die, but not nearly enough to justify having her on a team. Tomb Lord is decent, but alright, so might use her. Speed in arena, well that doesn't do me any good. Sanisha, well I don't have Sanisha, that doesn't do me any good either. Oh, okay, yes, this is the champion that I was thinking of in arena where, okay, so when her hit points drop below 20%, she gets an unkillable buff, so yeah, if she's taking a ton of damage in a turn, she's going to actually survive and get in one last attack beforehand, and she attacks pretty hard. Attacks all enemies, 50% chance, 25% weaken. That's nice. An AoE weaken. I could use that. That would work good with Tomb Lord. Tomb Lord's going to bring a defense down. She's going to bring a weaken. I think I'm going to use her. And then again, attacks all enemies, extra hit if the target has more than 50% hit points. That's good, because then she'll do an extra hit when they're over 50% hit points. Tomb Lord will get his bonus when they're below 50% hit points, so we're setting their turn meters. She is a keeper. She's pretty good. She's pretty hardcore in arena. Ooh, Spider! I need more champions for Spider too. Ooh, and yes, she could actually be. Ooh, I think I have a new champion for Spider. It's not a Cold Heart, so I can't cheese the boss, but that's a weaken, and I don't have a weaken for that yet. 4 turn, I could get that to 3 turn cooldown. This is up until the boss is below 50%, it's going to do an extra hit. She's going to Skull Crown. She's going to be good. I think she's going to be a keeper for Spider. That is awesome. That's my biggest obstacle right now is Spider. Everything else, I'm either clearing 20, no problem, or clearing 19, struggling on 20. Paragon, oof, I think he's trash. Dark Elves. Dark Elves is something I had quite a bit on, wasn't it? Yeah, I have a lot on Dark Elves, so don't think I need him. What does he do? Heal reduction and a decreased attack. That might be useful. Let's see what other channel that. Unkillable buff, 25% increased attack buff on a target ally. For 2 turns, actually. Wow, that could actually be very useful. I think this guy will be handy. 1 enemy, 50% chance to decrease the target's turn meter. Oh, he's a defense champion? He's defense. Oh, he's defense. I like it. I like it. I can actually take Deathless's gear because she's just not that great. I can put it on him maybe. What was he? Reviews. Reviews are decent. Nothing that great. Again, I don't rely on that too much. So, okay, cool. I think he's another one that I might be able to use. Again, at this point, it's hard to say, and especially because each boss in Faction Wars is going to change. They noted that, Plarium said in the patch notes for 1.11 for Faction Wars, that each boss is going to bring different challenges to the table. So what the skills were on the Stage 7 boss isn't necessarily going to be the same for the Stage 14. So you might have to max out multiple champions. I notice he kind of has that same face that Tomb Lord does on his chest. I think he's trash, because I've had him before. I used him as food. Let me see. Look at his reviews first. His reviews aren't that great. But he's, again, a Knight Revenant. I don't have a whole lot of Knight Revenants, so I might be able to use him. Let me see. Rises champion 30% hit points. Ooh, and attacks all enemies. Wow, so he gets one last attack after he dies. That's kind of cool. I mean, 30% hit points, he's probably going to die again right afterwards, but still, that's still pretty cool that he comes back. 25% ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns, and a block debuffs buff on this. Oh, okay, so it removes all debuffs on him and 25% ally protection. Well, I would have to ascend him to get those, but still, even a 25% ally protection just for now would be nice. Ooh, and I like this. An extra hit if the target has more HP than this champ, because that's the thing that I'm struggling with the most on Faction Wars. I'm sure all of you know it's the bosses. And so he'll always do an extra hit on the boss. So he might be a keeper. I mean, again, he was somebody who was garbage before, which is why I used him as food before, but now with Faction Wars, there's champions like this that weren't that great before that'll actually be useful. Although I don't like how he's a combination of hit points and then this is based on attack. Don't like that. But I could always just make him just like more of a protector of my allies. Well, no, because that's based on attack too, so I kind of want to load him up with attack. Alright, but seems like he might be a keeper. I mean, a lot of the champions, I'm just leveling them up to level 30 right now and trying out various groups and throwing some like kind of cheesy gear on them. And then that way when I hit a certain boss that has certain abilities that I'm getting stuck on, I can go, okay, what champion do I have with certain skills that are going to counter that? Veteran is another one that I've used as food before, I know that. The reviews don't look horrible. It does have a speed aura. That's just dungeons though. Alright, all enemies, so like all enemies, 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff. It's just for 1 turn, but that could be useful because that's another issue with the bosses is that they're doing these buffs on themselves sometimes to make them really powerful. What I'm finding is even worse though is the debuffs, like that fear, the true fear. I'm finding that some of these buff removal champions are going to come really handy. Like I've never maxed out a Spirit Host. I'm going to actually probably level up a Spirit Host just because I like the fact that she does that buff removal, and that seems like it's something really vital on these new bosses. Alright, attacks on enemy, 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies if the target's killed. And see, this is another one where he's a hybrid. Defense and attack, defense and hit points. So what, I gotta level up his defense and his hit points and his attack? Like, that doesn't make any sense. How are you ever going to make him hit hard? Ugh. Alright, attacks on enemy 2 times, 35% chance, 50% increase. Okay. Well, I mean, a 50% decrease attack is decent. I don't know. I mean, the only thing that seems worthwhile is this could be worthwhile in some battles where the boss or the boss's allies are buffing themselves up. Actually, there was one incident where the one of the allies of the boss was actually making the boss block damage. So in a case like that, that could come in useful, but it's only for 1 turn too, though. But he might be useful. I mean, again, it's hard to say. I mean, at this point, it's rare that I'm going to say anybody here is definitely not going to be useful, unless it's like that Sacred Order. Well, he's definitely not going to be useful because the dwarves haven't opened up yet, but I'm not going to toss him because the dwarves are eventually going to happen in Faction Wars, so we only got 3 reviews. 5, really? I find that hard to believe. All the dwarves that I've seen so far have been garbage. He looks weird. He looks like he's like all angry at you or something. But anyway, alright. Well, that's ally attacking dungeons. He's never going to see the dungeon with me. Counterattack buff on this champion at the start of each round. Well, it's just one turn at the start of each round. Place the counterattack buff on this champion for one turn at the end of their turn. So he always has counterattack on him? That, if he hits decent, that might actually be useful. Well, depends on what this does. One enemy 2 times, 30% chance heal reduction. Well, if I'm up against a boss in Faction Wars that has a heal, I can prevent healing. And with the counterattack, he should be attacking with it a lot. So that's good. Could be useful. I'm running out of accuracy chests though, because I need a lot of accuracy for these guys, and I'm running out of accuracy chest pieces. I need to farm more. But then I also need to level up champions, and I also need to farm for coin. There's a lot of things that I need to freaking do right now. But I think most people are. Alright, and what is this? Attacks on one enemy 3 times, shield buff on this champion equal to 30% of the damage inflicted for 3 turns. That's kind of cool. So assuming he hits hard, he actually could be useful. And especially as I don't really have many dwarves right now. I certainly didn't have an epic dwarf yet. Watch me get like a friggin' no, I don't know if there's a legendary void dwarf yet. I could use a legendary. I really use it. Doom Screech. Doom Screech, I believe, is really good for something. Arena. I thought it was Seeker that was really good for Arena. What does he do? I mean, he's undead. I think I have a ton of undead. Let me see here. Yeah, I got a lot of good undead. I got, quite a few. Seducer and Temptress seems like they'd be a really good combo in Faction Wars. I've always wondered what they would be like in Arena, but my Arena team is things like Nethril and Martyr and Haikatun for the speed boost, Tyrell for defense down. There was no room for them, but in Faction Wars there actually might be. With this champion though, I don't know. It depends on, because like Nethril is amazing. Nethril is a must for any fight. I don't know. Lich is supposed to be good. Graham is supposed to be pretty good. Hexia I've seen hit like a freight train in Arena, so she might be decent now. But I don't know. Let me see what this guy has. I might be able to use him. Attacks all enemies. Shield buff equal to 30% max hit points on this champion for 2 turns. Okay, well, attacks all enemies and a shield. This champion. Alright, now there's all of his stuff hit points. Attack and hit points. But maybe I can just load him up with a ton of hit points. Alright, so he attacks all enemies. Shield buff equal to 30% max hit points on this champion. So it's just him. Alright, but still. Damage increase according to this champion's current hit points. I don't like that. That means that he's going to attack hard in the beginning, hopefully, or at least modestly, but then as he takes damage, he's going to hit less. So I need to load him up with a bunch of speed. Yeah, because he doesn't have a high base speed. Alright. Oh, he fills turn meters. That's good. Fills turn meters while allies by 30%. 60% increased defense buff on all allies. That could be useful. He might actually be useful. The last one here. One enemy 2 times, 25% chance, 50% decreased accuracy. On the bosses, that could be pretty decent, but I don't know if I'd want to load him up with enough accuracy. I think I would rather load him up with a bunch of hit points and make him a survivor so that he can keep increasing the defense and the turn meters of all my allies. But see, it's a 5-turn cooldown. I would want to get that down to the 3. He is a rare. I do have a lot of tombs. Maybe I'll use him. Let me see. I got 8 more here. With Doom Screech. I mean, he's cool looking. I do like the undead. I'm glad that I'm getting more undead. I would love to get like demon spawn. Let me see a good demon spawn. Okay, well, he's not good. I already have him, but that was close. I said demon spawn. Let me get a winning lotto ticket. I really need a winning lotto ticket. No. Figured I'd give it a try. Alright, well, we already saw him, so if anything, I could either use this one to level up other champions quicker, or I don't see myself using 2 of him because, yeah, his skills aren't good enough to use 2 of him. Not that I can think of. I don't think my demon spawn group is that bad. Let me go ahead and pull this up, so then when I pull it down, I'll get a surprise. Well, I see it's an epic. I could see those colors on the side. It's an epic, so that's good. Alright, so demon spawn. Yeah, I was using the Diabolist. Jesus. Ugh, hound spawn is... Ugh. So yeah, I'll probably use 1 of him. Inithway Bloodsquin is the only one that I have that's pretty decent with the demon spawn. So I'm definitely going to use 1 of him. I might use both because Diabolus is kind of meh. Hound spawn is garbage. Marquise, I can't remember. I think she's kind of trash too. Sylar, I want to say Sylar is really good for something. Actually, I know Sylar is really... Spider? No. Maybe. 4.7. Maybe this is... Why am I thinking she's really good for something? 30% decreased speed, debuff on all enemies. I actually think she could be really good on Spider, because if, at least for a long-term battle, if I'm not going to cheese it, she would be good. So it'll slow down the Spider, and the Spiderlings, all of them. Ooh, and decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 40%. Ooh, I would definitely want to ascend her. She might be part of my Spider team. All enemies. Is this all... Yes, I'm getting more options for Spider. I like this. I love her outfit too. This is pretty nice. Oh, forgot the back of it. Anyway, yeah, I think she's going to be good. Attacks all enemies on her main. Although there's no debuff or anything like that. I don't know how I feel about that, but I could put her on a counter attack with lifesteal, and that would keep her alive. All enemies, 80% chance of placing a 50% decrease accuracy. I mean, I don't see a decreased accuracy really needed in that, but I do like the fact that she... Oh, this just... It doesn't attack, though. It just does the decreased speed. But it does decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 40% and a decreased speed. So she might be useful. Ally speed and faction crypts, okay. She's a dark elf. I might use her. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know who's going to be best for her. I'm pretty sure somebody in my clan, though, did say that Sylar's supposed to be really good for Spider. No reviews. I guess he must be one of the newer ones. Let's see what he's got going on here. I mean, I do need dwarves. I don't have hardly any dwarves yet either. He looks kind of cool, like how he says spikes coming literally out of his body. I want spikes coming out of my body. I'm going to do that later. Alright, so, attacks 1 enemy. Damage increases by 15% if the target has no active buffs. I just realized this is really noisy. So, yeah, but see, that's not going to be that great because the bosses are pretty much always going to have buffs on them. So I don't see myself using that much. 1 enemy. Enemies killed by the skill cannot be revived. That could be useful. Places a block. Debuffs buff on this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. I like the fact that he blocks revive. It depends on how hard he hits. I don't know. So far, I'm not. Attacks 1 enemy. Yeah, and then nothing on that one. Attacks 1 enemy. It only increases by 15% though too. That's really not much. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be that great. But then again, like I said, I don't really have any dwarves, so. Might end up needing him. Just no legendary Harvester. I've never had Harvester before. She might be a new one. There's only 11 reviews. Reviews seem pretty decent. Clan boss, really? I can't even imagine some of the champions people have to run things like this on clan boss. There's no way she's going to be good on clan boss. Never even heard of her used on clan boss. 1 enemy. 90% chance of increase in the cooldown of one of the target's skills by 2 turns. at random. Okay. That could be useful. Certainly not on clan boss. Attacks one enemy, 80% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. Again, you know, I'm having more problems with getting debuffs on me than I am the enemy getting buffs on themselves, mostly. Alright, attacks one enemy 30 times. 30 weaken. It's only a 15% weaken though. And she's Dark Elves. Dark Elves is one of those ones. I think I have a lot, right? Yeah, I have quite a few Dark Elves. I don't think she's gonna be in food. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna save a lot of these. Like, the thing is, I'm running out of storage space. Some champions I've used as food that I knew were gonna be trash, just because I'm running out of space, and I do not want to pay to open up more space. Doom Screech again, really? Alright, well, we already saw him. Maybe he'll be a skill up, maybe he will be food. But I do not see myself using 2 of him. I don't see him as that great, especially with undead. Now I have quite a few undead. Ooh, epic. Oh, where's my legendary? Faceless. I've used Faceless as food before. I'm pretty sure he's trash. He is a Night Revenant, though, so I might need him. Attacks 1 enemy. Ignore shield and block damage buffs, as well as... ignores defense. That could actually hit really hard if it ignores defense. He might be a keeper, especially for the bosses that have the high defense. 30% increased crit rate, buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks 1 enemy. That's pretty cool. 1 enemy, 15%. That's way too RNG. Alright. I might use him though, because I mean, again, I don't have much going on in Night Revenants. Faces. I got Deathless, I got Faceless and Night Revenants. Alright, here's my legendary. Watch this. Legendary. Come on. Fellhound. I've used him as food more times than I can even count. I don't know. I may not have him though now. I might actually need him now that, let me see, Demon Spawn. Yeah, I don't have him. I think he combines with Hound Spawn for something. No, I thought there's 2 dogs that they get abilities from each other. Let me see. He's supposed to be good for Spider? Really? I've never heard of him using. Let me see why. Alright, place the block damage buff on an ally for 1 turn. Well, it's just 1 ally and just 1 turn. I mean, that could be used synergistically with, like, say, a champion that does a provoke and then you block damage. I don't have anybody in Demon Spawn with provoke, though. It could potentially be decent. Continuous heal, reflect. Oh, okay, well, that's alright. I mean, it's only 7.5 and 15. See, I would need to ascend it. But he is a... Oh, he's a rare, so, I mean, I could probably ascend him for that. So 7.5 continuous heal, reflect damage. It's not a huge amount, but... See, I don't know. I feel like 7.5 heal is not going to be enough for those bosses, though. Like, all enemy attacks all enemies on his A1. That's why he's supposed to be good for Spider. 25% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Okay. Well, now I see why he's good for Spider. He has an A1 that attacks all enemies. Big question, though, is if he'd be good on auto, because I kind of have a feeling he'd probably do this continuous heal and reflect damage and everything else that I wouldn't want on my champions. He might even do the block damage buff on some of my champions. On manual, he would be good in Spider. The thing is that I need to be able to do automatic 20 for the mission to get Arbiter. Alright, so last one here. This is going to be my legendary. They were just saving the best for last, so this is cool. Here comes my legendary. I've used Hollow as food before. He does look really cool, though. I like the way he looks. That's why I remember him, is I thought he looked really cool. Looks like he needs a hamburger, but... Alright, use our Mercury. Let me see what he does. See if he'll undead again. I have so many undead now. All right. 25% of the target's defense. Well, I got that faceless that ignores 100%, but again, he's a Night Revenant, but alright, well, at least 25% is something. It depends on how hard this hits. That's the thing, is it's hard to say just from the skills how good somebody is, because some people's damage scales really well, some doesn't. Attacks an enemy 4 times. Each hit decreases the target's turn meter and fills this champion's turn meter by 5%. Okay. Well, it's a 20% decrease on theirs, 20% increase on his. Could be decent depending on how hard it hits. One enemy, 10% chance of poison. I want to like him because he looks cool, and I don't see myself using him, not even on Faction Wars, but I don't know. Anyway, well, nothing that spectacular here, but with Faction Wars, every little bit counts, especially now where I'm still trying to build up my teams. Like I said, I mean, you can see the list here with Demon Spawn. I was really short on that. Dwarves, I only had 3, so I got some more of those. I think I have enough now. I got 2 different ones, right? I think one was an epic and one was a rare. So I have enough now that when it does go live, I can at least run with Dwarves. I'm not leveling them up though until it's released. But anyway, but that's all that I got for today then, guys. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Yeah, hope you guys get some decent voids while this opening's coming up. I hope you guys get some legendaries here. I hope you have better luck than I do. But again, this kind of shows my point on, like, a lot of the voids are garbage. It's why I don't understand why void shards are worth so much more. And it's like, I love the game, but I can't stand Polarium, to be completely honest with you. They're crooked. There was the fully paywall scam. There's a lot of things I don't like about them. And considering the fact that they've done some messed up things to me, I don't feel any reason to support them. They've done a good job at some aspects of the game, but they're also extremely greedy. With that said, though, that the reason that I say that is, like, I hate to badmouth, but my point behind that is that I'm not going to support the notion that Voids cost so much more than Ancients. Void champions aren't any better. They've used the defense that, like, oh, well, Voids have no weaknesses. They also have no strengths. They're neutral. They're neutral against every affinity, which means that no matter what affinity you go against, they're never going to be strong against them either, whereas the other affinities, the red, green, blue, they have certain ones that they're strong against too. So you can play to that, especially if you have enough champions, especially in Faction Wars, you can use that to your advantage. I mean, with these, they're always neutral. There's never going to be a specific enemy that they're strong against. They're always going to be neutral. They're always going to be in the middle ground. So anyway, so I don't see them as any more valuable than any other champions, and especially you're far more likely to get a really good champion from Ancient Shards than you are Voids, which is why when they were trying to sell me the Void Shards, oh, and now they're trying to sell me Epic Tombs? No, I only need Legendaries. That's a complete waste. But anyway, but yeah, they're trying to sell the Void Shards now since they have the increased drop rate. Yeah, bonus Void Pack, $25. Barely, I mean, enough coins to level something from maybe from level 12 to 13 on one artifact, 250 gems, and then 7 Void Shards, $25. No. But I would have loved to have gotten another Cold Heart, but I did get this woman. There's a reason she's here. She's good. I don't know who this is, but yeah, I mean, at least I got a couple that I think they're going to be really handy, so I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and sort these out, see who I can fit into my vault. I have 80 out of 90 in my vault. I need to figure out something to make some room there. But that's all that I got for today, guys. So, yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. I'm saving my other shards for until there is either an increased sacred shard, because I'm gonna go ahead and cap off on this event just with those voids, I think. So that's all I got for now, but stay tuned for the next episode, and I will catch you guys then. In the meantime, I'm gonna check out these champions here, so I will catch you later. Hi guys, this is Anthony here, also known on this channel as AscendantGod. Wanted to thank you for checking out my channel here, really appreciate it. Be sure to check out the other videos. I got plenty of goodies on here. Also check out the description sections in the videos. Got plenty of links on there for real different kinds of goodies that I think would be worthwhile for you guys. If there is something in particular that you don't see on my channel that you want to see, be sure to let me know in the comment section as well. And I think that's about it. All I've got. I'm just gonna get back to this thing here. I'm pretty sure if I just... Oh!
We have such sights to show you.
Wow. That's really funny. Same here.